Good evening. Dan Rather with the CBS Evening News. One of the nation's newest top-of-the-line nuclear bombers crashed in Colorado today. It was a B-1B designed to penetrate Soviet border defenses in case of war. It reportedly hit a flock of birds during a training run and went down. CBS News Defense Department correspondent David Martin reports on this latest trouble for the troubled B-1.
Helicopters searched for $200 million worth of a B-1 bomber which crashed and burned near this Colorado hillside today while on a practice low-level bombing run.
And the plane had bellied in and exploded on impact. It was very eerie. You could smell the kerosene in the air, the burning rubber, and so many thousands of small pieces. It's really scary.
There were 6 crewmen aboard the B-1 bomber. 3 managed to eject, but the other 3 apparently went down with the plane and are listed as missing. The B-1 has been plagued by troubles during its short life, but this crash appears to have been caused by a flock of birds. According to the Air Force, the last radio transmission from the crew reported, quote, multiple bird strikes, birds flying into 2 of the plane's 4 engines, setting one of them on fire.
Oh, the plane was on fire before it hit the ground and exploded. The men that parachuted out indicated they thought they'd hit a bird, and at that point the plane caught on fire, and then they lost the ability to control the plane, and that's when they started to bail out.
3 years ago, a prototype B-1 crashed in the California desert, but this is the first time an operational model of the plane has crashed. The plane was stationed here at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas, where B-1s armed with nuclear weapons have been on alert for nearly a year.
I think the action today will have no basic effect on the B-1B in the Congress of the United States. We are committed to buy 100 of these airplanes.
The apparent loss of 3 lives, along with a $200 million aircraft, is a reminder of the high cost of preparing for nuclear war. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
The senior woman in Congress today said she's out before getting in Presidential Campaign 88. Colorado Congresswoman Pat Schroeder had been talking up a possible run for the Democratic nomination for months. Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer reports tonight on what makes Pat Schroeder not run.
I learned a lot about America, and I learned a lot about Pat Schroeder. That's why I will not be a candidate for president.
Today, after weeks of agonizing, Pat Schroeder decided to just say no. It was an emotional moment as she told a Denver rally it was just too late to put together a winning campaign.
I could not figure out how to run and not be separated from those I serve. There must be a way, but I haven't figured it out yet.
I think Pat Schroeder had to decide between a real candidacy and a symbolic candidacy, and I think she came to the conclusion she could run a symbolic candidacy, but she couldn't really run the kind of presidential campaign that would end up in the White House.
The announcement came during a topsy-turvy year for Schroeder, who began it with the expectation of playing a major role in Gary Hart's campaign. When Hart became history, women's groups and some liberals saw her as an alternative. But was the country ready for a woman president? Successful women politicians told her yes.
I think there is a desire to see women representing women in leadership positions because there's a feeling that they're fully capable of it.
As Schroeder logged 75,000 miles this summer, stressing family issues and